Hey everyone, welcome to Reasons for Roots. My name's Lauren and I am a homeschool mom to 4 kids. And if you're new here, I'm so glad that you have decided to check out this video because I have some fun things to show you. So I know most people are just finishing their school year, but for us, we ended the second week in April. So we are gearing up. We're about to start back to school. That's right. We start back at the end of June. So we're not technically year-round homeschoolers because we take 8 to 10 weeks off for in the spring or summer. But we live in Alabama and it's very hot here in the summer. So we decide to take our break in the most pleasant time of year here in the South, and that is in the spring. So at the end of June, we will be gearing back up with our school year. And as I have pulled together all their curriculum for my children to start back strong, I noticed a few little gaps, or maybe I had a few more things to order on my list. So I'm going to show you what I got to finish out our curriculum for next year. So all of this came from Christian book distributors. And I just have to say, I have to applaud Christian books because this time last year, it would take 10 days for me to get my order. I know, it's really not that long, but it feels like a long time. Now, it's taking 2 to 3 days for me to receive my packages from Christian books. So they've really upped their game with their shipping. And of course, they always have very reasonable priced curriculum. So I just want to show you a peek of what I got. So I'm going to start with one of my favorite things I bought. One of the things I'm most excited about, and that is Apologia. Apologia, not science, literature. So I had seen Apologia literature before. Never really looked into it much. And to be honest, I was going to go a completely different route with literature. We were going to use Compass Classroom along with A Gentle Feast. So as I sat down and was scheduling out my 10th grader's school year, I noticed he had a lot on the computer. And that's okay for some people. But for me, I wanted to actually teach him literature and grammar. Those are my favorite things. That's something I enjoy doing. So I wanted to continue teaching him those two things. So I went on the search for a literature program. We have used Abeka, we have used BJU, we have used Masterbooks. I have put stuff together myself. We have done just read the literature book, give me a narration of it, and move on. We've done almost everything. We've done a lot of the mainstream curriculums. So I've never been satisfied with any of those. Any of those I've just mentioned, I've always felt that they were lacking in some way. Maybe I just have really high expectations for literature curriculum. I don't know. But it's been really hard for me to find a high school literature program that I just loved. We used Masterbooks last year, and it's a good program. It just wasn't thorough enough for me. I like a literature book that actually has the readings in there to where you don't have to buy 30 books. They have excerpts, but they also ask you to read some of the literature. I like a literature curriculum that gives history, context for the book, as well as breaking down literary elements. So I was really surprised when I got on Christian books and I saw this Apologia literature. Now, he'll still be reading his Gentle Feast books, but I just wanted to add a little bit of something. So this was only $14. Do you see how thick that is? How big that is? It was only $14 on Christian books. The notebook was only $5. Just like the chemistry or the science notebooks, if you're familiar with them, it's laid out a lot the same way, only $5. So this was on clearance. So I thought I'll look at it, see if I like it. I am super impressed just by flipping through. It's very thorough. It's exactly what I was looking for. The notebook, I think, will be very helpful. And I was actually talking and showing it to my aunt, who is a high school English teacher. And she said, Lauren, that could be 2 years worth of literature. It is such a condensed and thorough literature book. So I'm excited to get into this and see how I really like it once we get going. But just flipping through, it had all the components that I was looking for. So I'm really excited to use this. I haven't decided if I'm going to use it for 2 years or just 1 year. Like I said, it's a lot. I can do a flip through of it. If you're interested in looking at it, leave me a comment below. And I'll let you know later on in a homeschool update if we decided to use this for 2 years or for 1 for my 10th grader. So a whole complete literature program for around $20. Okay, so let's move down to my 6th grader. So for her, I had told you in my 6th grade curriculum picks that she would be doing the story of inventions for the second half of her science year. This is by Christian Liberty Press. I've done a whole video about Christian Liberty Press and some of their great resources, but this is a science reader. It's Charlotte Mason inspired. You also have tests if you want to purchase those. I think the test packet was like $3. So I went ahead and got the test packet. I don't know if I'll use it or not for her, but I'm definitely excited about the story of inventions. So that's for 6th grade science, and that's half a year. I'm sure you could stretch this out to be a whole year's worth if you wanted to do that, but we're going to use it for half a year. Okay, something else I got for our together history time. So I love, I'm really looking forward to A Gentle Feast because it really fits well with the way we do history. So the way we do history is I will always have something to read aloud to my middle 2 children. They stay on the same history cycle. So those 2 children always on the same cycle. So I'll read something collectively together to kind of keep us together. So it'll be like middle range, middle of the road. It's like a little bit above my 6th grader and a little bit below my son. And that has worked really well. And then they go and they read, they will go and read their independent readers. So, so I'll be reading to them the American history books assigned for Form 3. So I'll be reading to them from George Washington's World as is scheduled through A Gentle Feast. We really like these books, these Beautiful Feet books. We have read The World of Captain John Smith, and we also have The World of William Penn. So this was one that we'll do as well. So for my little guy, I have a few things for him that I'm going to add in, just kind of supplement a little bit. So for him, I bought Mindbenders Level 1. He really likes the Critical Thinking Company books. So we're going to start him with this. And then to kind of supplement some of the reading he's doing, we are going to do Abeka Letters and Sounds 1 and Language 1. So these are things, he really likes worksheets. He really enjoys doing this kind of worksheets. So that's something I'm kind of missing with Happy Cheetah is his love for this kind of worksheets. So right now with Happy Cheetah reading, we are just on the copywork part. So I'm going to kind of use these to fill in so he doesn't regress and forget a lot of the things he already knows. So he kind of placed in between for Happy Cheetah and I really wanted him to get a firm foundation on handwriting. So that's why I went ahead and started him just with kindergarten level. So we're going to kind of fill in some holes. Not that Happy Cheetah needs filled in, but just for my child, he just needs some review with his vowels, blending, that sort of thing. And so we're going to start with these and work slowly through these for the coming year. And I have a few more things, and two things that I'm going to use for our morning time is Tales from Shakespeare. We used this last year and we really enjoyed it. It came with our Heart of Dakota curriculum last year. So when I sold our Heart of Dakota curriculum, I included it with that book or that curriculum set. So I actually jumped on Christian Books, got this for $4.95, Tales from Shakespeare by Charles and Mary Lamb. If you're wanting to introduce your children to Shakespeare, I would say 4th grade and up, this is a great way to do that. So we will read this once a week in morning time for our Shakespeare study. And then I also got these Manner of the Week flashcards. Now these are from Memoria Press and they are scheduled for kindergarten or 1st grade. So they're really for my little guy, but I'm going to put them in morning time just so he feels like he's part of the big kids school and they can kind of help him and reinforce these manners. So we're going to do these together, and it'll be good for the older kids too to kind of review some on manners. So this is really for my little guy, but we're going to stick it in to morning time. So that's it. I think I'm ready to start our school year. I have some videos coming up on how I'm preparing our school year. If you're interested in those, please subscribe so you don't miss out. And all right, that's it for today. We'll see you guys next time.